The following is a presentation of TFNN. It is now time for Living a Primal Lifestyle with your host, Nico de Hann. And now, here's Nico de Hann.
Welcome to Living a Primal Lifestyle with Nico de Hann. It's Friday, April 27th, 2012, and time to talk about your health, fitness, and diet. My call-in number here is 877-927-6648. If you'd like to join the show, our international number is 727-445-1044. Also have my new Health Signals newsletter out, issue 8 for 2012. Please sign up for it. You get it free for 30 days, and then you receive 2 issues a month for only $10 every month. So you receive those issues on the first and third Friday of each and every month. If you'd like to get a hold of me by email, it's nico@tfnn.com if you have any questions or comments. Hope everybody's doing great in the chat room, streaming live on the internet, on Tiger TV, and, of course, nationally on the radio. It's sunny and about 78 degrees here in downtown Clearwater, Florida. Another beautiful day here, folks. They just run into each other. So, we talk a lot about nutrition, but what are vitamins, and what vitamins do we need? Well, vitamins are actually organic compounds that are needed in small quantities to sustain our life. We get vitamins from food because the human body either does not produce enough of them or, in some cases, none at all. An organic compound contains carbon. Now, when an organism, a living thing, cannot produce enough of an organic chemical compound that it needs in tiny amounts, and it has to get it from food, that's when it's called a vitamin. Now, sometimes the compound is a vitamin for humans, but it may not be for other animals. For example, vitamin C, which is ascorbic acid, is a vitamin for humans, but not for dogs, because dogs can produce or synthesize enough of these things for themselves, while we as human beings cannot. So put simply, a vitamin is both of these things. It's an organic compound that contains carbon. It's also essential nutrient. The body cannot produce enough of it on its own, so it has to get tiny amounts of this from the food that we eat. So there are currently 13 recognized vitamins. According to the medical dictionary, a vitamin is one of a group of organic substances present in small amounts or minute amounts in natural foodstuffs that are essential to normal metabolism. Insufficient amounts in a diet can cause dietary diseases or deficiency diseases. Now, some of them are vitamins are water-soluble, some are fat. The fat-solubles and water-soluble vitamins, they're stored, the fat-solubles, I should say, are stored in the fat tissues of our body as well as in the liver. Fat-soluble vitamins are easy to store, much easier than the water-soluble ones, and they can stay in the body as reserves for days, and some of them can even stay there for months. Water-soluble vitamins do not get stored in the body for long. They soon get expelled through like the urine. So water-soluble vitamins need to be replaced more often than the fat-soluble ones. That just makes sense. Vitamins A, D, E, and K are fat-soluble. Vitamin C and B vitamins are water-soluble. So fat-soluble vitamins are absorbed through the intestinal tract with the help of fats, lipids. You can see why fats are important. List of vitamins are vitamin A, which is fat-soluble, and deficiency may cause night blindness, other eye disorders also. So good sources of this is liver, cod liver oil, carrots, broccoli, sweet potatoes, butter, kale, spinach, pumpkins, collard greens, and some cheeses. Eggs have these, apricots, melons, milk. The vitamin B1, thiamine, is a water-soluble vitamin. Deficiencies cause things like beriberi. Good sources of this would be yeast and pork. They also list grains, but I don't eat grains. So sunflower seeds, brown rice, whole grain rye, asparagus, kale, cauliflower, potatoes, oranges, livers, eggs. Vitamin B2, riboflavin, is water-soluble, and deficiencies cause a thrombosis. The good sources of this are like asparagus, bananas, okra, chard, cheese, milk, yogurt, meats, eggs, fish, and green beans. Vitamin B3, niacin, is water-soluble, and pellagra is a deficiency for that. So it's found in liver and heart and kidneys and chicken, beef, fish, all kinds of fish, milk, eggs, avocados, dates, and tomatoes, broccoli, sweet potatoes, asparagus, whole grains, and legumes, mushrooms, found everywhere, and brewer's yeast. Now, vitamin B5 is water-soluble, and good sources of this would be in meat sources or some whole grains, but milling removes it. So you can get it in broccoli and avocados, royal jelly, fish ovaries. B6 is also water-soluble, and deficiency in that causes anemia. Now, good sources of that would be meats and bananas, again, whole grains and vitamins and nuts. Now, when milk is dried, it loses about half of this, of the B6. Freezing it and canning also reduces its content, so you can see why we don't do that. B7, biotin, is water-soluble, and the deficiencies cause endometriosis. Good sources are egg yolks and livers and other vitamins. B9 is folic acid. It's also water-soluble, and deficiency may cause different things to birth defects. A good source of these are leafy green vegetables, liver, brewer's yeast, some fortified grain products, which I wouldn't recommend, sunflower seeds, and several fruits have moderate amounts of these, and also beer. How about that? So vitamin B12, now that's also a water-soluble vitamin, and deficiencies in this can cause anemia. So good sources of this would be fish and shellfish, meat, poultry, eggs, milk, other dairy products. Of course, when they do this in cereal, they have to fortify these, also in soy products, so we don't recommend that. Vitamin C, ascorbic acid, is water-soluble, and deficiency in that cause also anemia. And the good sources of vitamin C are different fruits and vegetables. Different plums, all kinds of fruits have really good sources of vitamin C. Of course, things like, just about any fruit. Liver has it in it too. Vitamin D is a fat-soluble vitamin, and you get rickets and things like that from it if you don't have enough of it. And good sources of that they're produced in the skin when you're exposed to ultraviolet light, B light. From the sun, artificial sources too, but it's also found in fatty fish and eggs and beef and some mushrooms. Vitamin E, another fat-soluble. You don't get much deficiency in that, but it might have some anemia problems in newborn babies. Good sources are some fruits like kiwi fruit, almonds, avocados, eggs, milk, nuts, and leafy green vegetables. Unheated vegetable oils like your olive oil is good, wheat germ. Now, vitamin K is another fat-soluble vitamin, and this has to do with bleeding. So you need that, and you can get that from leafy green vegetables, avocado, and different kinds of fruits. Parsley has a lot of vitamin K. So that's the kind of vitamins and minerals that we need in small amounts. They're not necessary for life. A lot of them, except sunshine. You can get different diseases from them. But as you can see, you can get a lot of these things also from some animal products, too. So not necessary to, most of these come from a carbohydrate type of food, but a lot of them are also in your proteins and fats. So as we know that the essential nutrients that we need come from proteins and come from fat, the non-essential really from carbohydrates. Kind of strange that In America, our food pyramid is really wrapped around the non-essential foods, the carbohydrates. That's what we get recommendations from. Your dietitian may even say, 70% of your food or 60 to 75% of your food needs to come from carbohydrates, the non-essential macronutrient. Whereas we want to go real low on your protein and your fat. Definitely fat is real low is what they say. So it's, here at Primal Lifestyle, we know that is really not true, and that we need to get our macronutrients, the fat and the protein, very important. Protein, of course, great for our building muscles, sustaining our life. And fats, of course, keeps everything running. That's the fuel we use. It also settles everything down. All your aches and pains, the more fat you eat, that comes from good sources, of course, then you're going to feel a lot better. You're going to be much more satisfied with the food that you eat. And with carbohydrates, you normally go into a up and down cycle because of your blood sugar being spiked. And when that blood sugar runs out, your fuel runs out because you can't tap into your fat storage. And then you start to have problems. You get hungry, you get moody, and bad things happen. So be sure to build your meals around protein and adding fat as you need it, as you feel satisfied, and your carbohydrates and little vitamins and minerals we need from those things we can get from our green leafy vegetables, and we get a little fiber along with that, and that's good for us too. So, and that's kind of the way it all works. I'd like to remind you that my new Health Signals newsletter is out, and it's really packed full of a lot of information on what you should be eating and recommendations on what not to eat, and also things to stay away from in our environment. So if you really want to be on top of your game, as so to speak, you need to find out the right information, and our Health Signals newsletter is designed specifically for that. So you're going to get a lot of information about things that to watch out for in our environment, in your food, what these companies are trying to sell us, and once you get the information, you can make pretty good decisions about what you should be eating and how easy it is to really stay fit and healthy. And the main thing is staying away from a lot of things that we are told to be eating, like your whole grains, your great whole grains, your porridge in the morning, or your oats and things like that. And this morning I had basically a little protein shake. And with that I had a little espresso with a lot of grass-fed butter in it, about a good 2 ounces of butter in that. And boy, that's kept me satisfied, and I haven't eaten since. So, you can, it's pretty easy to do. It's easy to stay satisfied, and Health Signals is going to steer you in the right direction. Also, folks, you can give me a call here at 877-927-6648. Our international number is 727-445-1044. And you can, of course, always reach me at nico@tfnn.com. Remember that these shows are archived on the TFNN website and also on iTunes. Great way to get them. So we'll be back in a couple minutes.
In just December of last year, the price of gold was down over 10%. In today's highly volatile gold market, you need someone in your corner that understands the complex relationships that exist within the price of gold, as well as within a variety of gold equities. Whether it's the South African gold miners and knowing how the rand-dollar relationship will affect their bottom line, or understanding how John Paulson's $5 billion trade in the GLD can move the market, Tom O'Brien gives you the direction you need to become a better trader each week in his newsletter, The Gold Report. With over 20 individual equities covered and almost another 20 on the potential watch list each week, in addition to covering the XAU, HUI, GLD, and dollar, The Gold Report is a great source for any trader that is looking to be diversified in today's volatile gold market. For your 30-day free trial to Tom O'Brien's Gold Report, log on to TFNN.com today. Don't miss out on this great offer. Act now. You take a hands-on approach to managing your investment strategy. You're always looking for the next trading opportunity to magnify your perspective. Direction Shares connects sophisticated traders with a powerful array of ETFs from a wide range of asset classes. The markets may go up and down, and you want tools for both sides of the trade. Discover how we can help at DirectionShares.com today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction Shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction Shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction Shares at 800-851-0511. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors employing dynamic strategies. Investors in the fund should understand the consequences of seeking daily investment results, understand the risk of shorting, and intend to actively monitor and manage their investments. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Hi, I'm Steve Rhodes, co-host of The Money Masters with Tom O'Brien, seen daily at TFNN.com, author of Mastering Probabilities, a daily investment and trading newsletter, and teacher of the money game. Studies show that 3 out of 5 people are afraid for their life in trading these markets, and the number one reason given is fear of loss. Look, fear stands for false evidence appearing real, and the money game proves it. Lesson number 1, don't risk more than 1% of your trading capital on any trade. Why, you ask? Because 35 trades in a row where you risk 50 cents and make $1 are all you need to double your trading capital, versus the 230 losing trades in a row you would need to bring your balance to $100. Let me teach you more about the money game risk-free for 30 days. Go to the homepage of TFNN.com and click on my name, Steve Rhodes, for your 30-day risk-free trial. You were born to be a money master, and I'll teach you how.
X-Story Gold Mines, an NYSE Amex-listed company trading under the symbol XG, is slated to be the newest gold-silver producer in Argentina. X-Story is forecast to produce more than $250 million in bullion annually, beginning in 2013, at a cash cost of less than $200 for each ounce of gold produced. That forecast will make X-Story one of the highest margin operators in South America and a sector leader in the mining industry. X-Story has $50 million in its treasury, having spent over $60 million to date on drilling and engineering. The ultimate size of its Argentina discovery could be determined by year-end, as results from the 6 drills operating at the site are fully assessed. To find out more about X-Story Gold Mines and their exciting growth potential, click on their banner on the front page of TFNN.com or check them out on the NYSE Amex under the symbol XG.
This segment is brought to you by Great Panther Silver. For more information, just click the Great Panther Silver banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Welcome back to the show, folks. This is Nico on Living a Primal Lifestyle. My phone number here is 877-927-6648 if you'd like to call into the show. And on the line we have Mike from Chicago. Hi, Mike. How are you doing today?
Good, Nico. How are you?
Doing great.
Hey, I just had a quick question for you. And, I haven't caught all your shows, so I don't know if you've talked about this before, but are you familiar with Joseph Mercola and his eating for, different nutrition types?
Yeah, Dr. Mercola has a big presence on the web.
He basically, pretends that not everyone should be eating the same diet. In other words, there's protein types, there's carbohydrate types, and there's mixed types.
Yeah.
And depending on what type of, nutritional makeup you have, you should be eating for that makeup. And, just in my own life, I can say that I'm, far and away a protein type, where I'm extremely satisfied if I eat meat and fat and limit my carbs.
Yeah.
Whereas my wife is definitely a carbohydrate type, and she's much more satisfied when she eats carbs.
Yeah.
I was just wondering if you kind of, subscribe to that thinking, and if you utilize that in any of your own eating habits.
Well, I do kind of, Mike. My wife, I notice, eats more carbohydrates than I do. The only thing she doesn't do is she doesn't go in for the refined carbohydrates of any kind. If it's manufactured, then she doesn't need it.
Well, yeah, a lot of people don't realize that vegetables are actually carbs.
Yeah, of course, exactly. And I think there is validity to that. After all, we all come from different regions. I know that me being born in the Netherlands, and we have traced our family tree back eons, back into the 11th century, and we really never moved more than 100 miles from where I was born. And I can tolerate the cheeses and the milk products much, much better than my wife can, who comes from a Russian descent, a Jewish Russian descent, and she can't take any kind of dairy products at all. She could when she was younger, but then developed an allergy for it. I also read books years back on what they called a blood type diet, and they also are kind of proponent to this. The thing that we do know is that we can live as human beings, and this goes to all human beings, we can live off of fat and protein and really not need carbohydrates, and that's kind of proven with an ice age or with people that live in the Arctic Circle like the Inuit people. They don't. Yeah.
So my one quick follow-up question would be, for somebody like myself who's a protein fat type, I always get worried that I'm not eating enough carbs. In other words, vegetables. But if I eat too much, if I eat too much broccoli or too much lettuce or a certain type of veggie, I still get that bloated feeling as if I ate a big bowl of spaghetti, which I would never do.
Right.
So I guess my question is, you see all these people that are subscribing to juicing and eating lots of green leafy vegetables, and I feel like if I'm not eating enough of that, then I'm going to be missing something. But I don't know if I really am.
I don't think so.
Given my nutrition type.
Yeah, I think that if you're satisfied with what's going on and the numbers are right when you go to the doctor, and you're sleeping good and everything, you must be eating a right diet, because those, being deficient in things will show up in your habits like sleeping and low energy and things like that. So if you don't have those symptoms, I would say you're probably eating the right diet, especially if you're getting the food from good sources, and that's the key.
Yeah. Great. Thanks, Nico.
Okay, I appreciate it.
I appreciate it. Thanks a lot.
Okay, Mike. Really, really good questions, Mike. I really do appreciate that, because I think I know people who are vegetarians that seem to do quite well. Would they do well on the type of diet I'm eating? I don't know, because they're not doing it. And I know some people who have problems eating fat, even whether it's saturated fat. I know my wife doesn't do well on saturated fat from coconuts or from palm oil, but you give her saturated fat from beef or from a pig or a bird, she does fine on it. So, those differences you certainly have to be aware of. The thing we do know, and we discuss here on Living a Primal Lifestyle, there are certain foods that cause a problem for us. And those are mostly the type of carbohydrates that have been processed in some way or another. Okay? And again, this information, folks, is coming to you constantly in my Health Signals newsletter. So please sign up for the Health Signals newsletter. It's going to give you a lot of information that we talk about here that we really can't go into as depth here. So real important to do that. And you can also give me a call at 877-927-6648. We have another caller on the line, Jeff, and he's going to be with us right after the break. So stick around, folks. This is Nico. I'll be right back.
You've heard Tom O'Brien on the air, and you've always thought about trying out his newsletter, Market Insights. Well, now is the perfect time. For a limited time only, when you sign up for a 2-week free trial to Market Insights, we'll send you a free copy of Tom O'Brien's best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System. If you decide to cancel within the 2-week trial period, pay absolutely nothing and keep Tom's book as a free gift from us. Tom sends out his daily newsletter each morning by 9:30 a.m. with trade recommendations options, including price targets and price stops. As recently as March 21st, Market Insight subscribers closed out a position for more than a 25% profit in just over 2 weeks. To get your 2-week free trial to Market Insights, along with your free copy of The Art of Timing the Trade, your ultimate trading mastery system, visit the front page of TFNN.com. Supplies are limited for this one-of-a-kind special, so act today and don't let this opportunity pass you by. Offer only valid for new subscribers. Has the current market volatility continued to stop you out of trades when temporary market spikes move against you? Now is the perfect time to open up an account with Nadex. Nadex, the North American Derivatives Exchange, is a new and innovative Chicago-based exchange registered with the Commodity Futures Trading Commission, and unlike most other exchanges, Nadex allows you to trade directly through them with direct market access when using their trading platform. Nadex never charges a fee to use their platform, which even includes real-time charts and full customization capability. One of the advantages of trading with Nadex in volatile markets is that your risk is always capped, and you have the advantage of keeping your trades open even when the market temporarily spikes against you. Nadex's innovation has allowed them to come up with a line of unique short-term binary options that are unavailable anywhere else. See how it works at nadex.com. That's Nadex.com, or click on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Futures and options trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for all investors.
Put the power of the Chapman Wave methodology to work for you. No matter what market you trade, what time frame you trade in, or your trading style, the Opening Call, Basil Chapman's daily market newsletter, is bursting with the information and trades you need to become a more successful trader.
I've been using Basil Chapman's Chapman Wave methodology for several years now. His Chapman Wave can be used for any time period for not only equities, but futures, currencies, commodities. I've been also a subscriber of his Opening Call, which I find an invaluable tool to help me analyze the potential of the market each day. He gives you opportunities to go short and long. It includes recommendations on stocks. I strongly recommend people using the Chapman Wave, and I very, very strongly support the use of his Opening Call.
To find out more about Basil Chapman and his Chapman Wave methodology, and to get your 2-week free trial of the Opening Call, a $64 value, visit TFNN.com today.
In just December of last year, the price of gold was down over 10%. In today's highly volatile gold market, you need someone in your corner that understands the complex relationships that exist within the price of gold, as well as within a variety of gold equities. Whether it's the South African gold miners and knowing how the rand-dollar relationship will affect their bottom line, or understanding how John Paulson's $5 billion trade in the GLD can move the market, Tom O'Brien gives you the direction you need to become a better trader each week in his newsletter, The Gold Report. With over 20 individual equities covered and almost another 20 on the potential watch list each week, in addition to covering the XAU, HUI, GLD, and dollar, The Gold Report is a great source for any trader that is looking to be diversified in today's volatile gold market. For your 30-day free trial to Tom O'Brien's Gold Report, log on to TFNN.com today. Don't miss out on this great offer. Act now.
This segment is brought to you by Crocodile Gold. For more information, just click the Crocodile Gold banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Welcome back to the show, folks. This is Nico on Living a Primal Lifestyle. My call-in number here is 877-927-6648. On the line, we have Jeff from Miami Beach. Good morning, Jeff. How are you doing today?
Hi, Nico. Thank you for taking my call.
My pleasure. What can I do for you?
Just a question about the supplement lecithin.
Yeah.
Traditionally, it's always been made with soybeans, and I know your position on soybeans, but lately they've come out with a new product, and it's not that widespread yet. Just, I've only seen it from one vendor, actually. Lecithin made from a sunflower source. I'm wondering your opinion on that, if that's something you would recommend taking.
It probably is a better source. Even from soybeans, the actual lecithin probably is not going to cause that much of a problem. You don't need a lot of it. But sunflower might be a better source. Sunflower oil for years has been used as a medication.
Okay.
So I really haven't explored that, but I'll look into that. But I would think this would probably be a good source. But, you can get lecithin from a lot of green leafy things that have oils in them. So,
right. I understand lecithin is also in egg yolks.
Definitely is. Definitely is. So it's a good fat.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Okay, that's all I had, Nico. Thank you very much.
Well, thanks a lot, Jeff.
Bye.
Bye. Yeah, these things, oil, when they come from an oil, you're going to try to find the best source of oil, and the sunflower is not a bad source. Seed oils are generally pretty good, and a lot of them can be heated up a little bit better than your fruit oils or your oils like olive oil, or your vegetable oil is what they call it. The thing I would stay away from would be more like a grain oil, like corn oil. Soybean oil, generally not either, but when they extract the lecithin out of it, I don't think you're going to have any really problems with that. Just my personal opinion. A funny thing is, I got an article here that I should probably read to you. This is the title of it is "The State Threatens to Shut Down a Nutritional Blogger." And this is from the North Carolina Board of Dietetics and Nutrition. They're threatening to send a blogger to jail even. And this guy is from diabetes-warrior.net. Okay, his name is Steve Cooksey. You may have heard of him. He's a Primal guy. And he has learned that the definition, at least in the eyes of the state board, is expansive as far as the North Carolina, generally their statutes make it a misdemeanor to practice dietetics or nutrition without a license. And the same thing is here in Florida, where I reside. He was hospitalized, with diabetes in February of 2009, and he decided to avoid the fate of his grandmother, who eventually died of the disease. He embraced the low-carb, high-protein paleo diet, and I really don't believe the paleo or the primal diet is a high-protein diet. It's more of a high-fat diet, moderate protein, but definitely low in carbs. It's also known as the caveman or hunter-gatherer diet. The diet, he said, made him drug and insulin-free within 30 days. By May of that year, which is 2009, he had lost 45 pounds and decided to start a blog about his success. But this past January, the state decided that Cooksey's blog, diabetes-warrior.net, violated the state law. Nutritional advice Cooksey provided on the site amounts to practicing nutrition, the board said. And North Carolina, that's something you need a license to do. Unless Cooksey completely rewrites his 3-year-old blog, he could be sued by the licensing boards. If he loses the lawsuit and refuses to take down, he could face 120 days in jail. The board's director said Cooksey has a First Amendment right to blog about his diet, but he can't encourage others to adopt it, and unless the state has certified him as a dietitian or nutritionist. Now, he went to a seminar. This is pretty interesting. January 12th of this year, he went to a seminar in Charlotte. And the speaker was directors of the diabetes services of a local hospital. She was giving all the wrong information, just like everybody does, that carbs are okay to eat, we must eat carbs to live, and promoting a low-fat diet, Cooksey said. So I spoke up. After the meeting, he handed out a couple of business cards and pointed people to his website. 3 days later, he got the call from the nutritional board, the board. Basically, she told me I had to give up. I could not give out nutritional advice without a license. He said she also told him that his website was being investigated and gave him some suggestions how to bring it into compliance. So that's the dilemma he's in. And here they have a link for a download on the review of his website, which was pretty extensive. And pretty much they told him to remove anything that provided a indication that he was telling people, eat this, don't eat that. Kind of similar to what I'm doing on this show and on my blogs too. So you really have to be careful. You can't say you have to eat this if you want to be healthy. And this kind of just brought me to mind, too, what's the other side of this? Now, if I am a nutritionist, in other words, if I take some courses here in Florida about diet, they're going to give me the old spin of the standard American diet, I presume. Eat a lot of carbohydrates, eat your cereal for breakfast, eat your bread and your pasta. It's all good for you. And cut down on fat. Don't eat so much butter. When you fix your eggs, don't eat the egg yolks. And when you use oils, don't eat your saturated fat oils. Forget about that. Eat corn oil, and you'll be in good shape. Now, so I go through this course, and I get my license as a dietitian. Now, as a dietitian here in Florida or in North Carolina or some of these other states, can I then, now I'm a dietitian and now all of a sudden I know everything, so can I promote a paleo diet? Probably not, because then I'm still held to the restriction of I've got to follow the diet that I've been taught to eat by these people who are in charge, which we know is really not good for you. I've tried those diets. They don't work for me. So what I'm telling you here is you need to investigate these things yourself. And that's really what he has to do on his website, and he has to do when he's speaking out, is that this is what's been working for me, and I recommend you investigate it yourself. And that's the only way you're going to find out anyway. So, that's really what I try to do here. And I hope I'm not suggesting to people this is the only way you should eat. Like Jeff said from Miami, that other people eat different ways, and they seem to be doing okay. What's okay? So, and this really boils down. I mean, I know a lot of people that are overweight, they're eating a certain way, and they think they're doing fine. And some people are naturally big. From my experience, the people that I do exercise with at the dojo for Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, the ones that have switched to the type of diet that I'm eating, the Primal type diet, and have done away with their breads and pastas and cereals, and gone to more of traditional type eating that we used to do just 100 years ago, eating your good meats and using good oils and putting some more fat into your body, are doing a lot better. And for me, what it does, it really gives me a boundless amount of energy. I was sparring the other day with a young guy, probably low 30s, and what I notice after about 3-4 minutes of fighting, they start getting tired, where I've really got a lot of energy. I don't get tired anymore. I can do a 5 or 10 minute fight. I might be exhausted in there, but I've still got I've got reserves left in the tank. And really, that's what fat does for me. I'm eating as much fat as I can. I eat the butter in the morning with my coffee. Make sure I put quite a bit of butter, 1 or 2 ounces of butter in my coffee. And that balances out any kind of problem with the coffee that it might have to put me into a sugar-burning type of zone. It doesn't. I stay in fat burning. That's what I want to do. So very important to start experimenting with yourself. That's a really good thing to do with food these days, is because there's a lot of bad food out there. Anything that's manufactured, folks, is not going to give you the same type of nutrition as something that's fresh, something that you don't have to process, something that you pick and eat. It just makes a lot of sense. So the fresher it is, whether it's a freshly killed animal, or whether it's fresh milk, or whether it's fresh fruit from a tree, or fresh vegetables, is going to be better for you. Now, we know that certain fruits have a lot of fructose in it, especially modern fruit. But I've been reading an article, I don't know even if I have it here, but anyway, it was a real interesting article about, I guess I don't have it here, that these anthropologists have been studying different types of food, and one of the things they're noticing, I might have it here on my iPad, let me see if I've got it in here someplace, but it is very interesting because it really did. Yeah, I don't see it in here. I know I had it in here someplace. But what it does is, what it is actually is that as they've been studying this flora, these vegetables and things like that, they're saying more of the vegetables are being changed over the last 5,000 or 6,000 years than actually fruits have. Because most of the vegetables that we eat today have gone through many different metamorphoses, wasn't even available 10,000 years ago. especially, of course, broccoli, we know, is a form of kale, and cauliflower is a hybrid of that. So we've really fooled around with this food a lot, and a lot of nutritions may have been lost because the food is a little bit different. But there's quite a bit that can be learned from digging in through anthropology. Now I have another caller on the line. His name is John from Clearwater. He wants to talk about the standard American diet. Are you there, John? I guess he's maybe he left already. The American diet was the title of what he wanted to talk about. Maybe he can call back. I've got about 3 or 4 minutes left in this segment. Then got another 5 minutes, John. So if you want to call back, maybe you got cut off. Of course, the standard American diet, not that good, especially if you're going down the road and you start looking at what's available on the American diet. You go to things like Burger King and most of these fast food joints, and you go into there and you can almost smell the difference what the food is what's being done to the food. Most of it's fried, and most of it's fried in some type of oil, whether it's a peanut oil or whether it's a corn oil or whether it's a soy oil. These oils, when they're heated, turn rancid very quickly. So that's a problem right there. Of course, we don't really know what's in the food, too, whether you're eating a hamburger from McDonald's or whether you're eating a Hardy burger or a BK burger. Is it beef? Is it 100% beef? Well, we know that 100% beef can probably be up to maybe 50, 60% beef, and there's all kinds of fillers in there. So, you really have to be careful on what you're doing. So I guess John is back. So you there, John?
Yes, I am.
Hey, glad to have you back. I'm glad you called back. What can I do for you?
Okay, my comment is look at the health system in the United States. When it's compared to the health system in all the developed countries around the world, we rate very, very low. Yeah. We have the highest infant mortality of all the developed countries in the world. Yeah. And when you look at the chronic illnesses like diabetes and heart disease and cancer, we're at the very top of the list in most of those things. Wow. And why is it? It's because of our food system in the United States. It's because of our medical system in the United States. If our medical system was so great, then why is it that we rank like number 34th in the world as outcomes from going to the doctor?
Yeah. And it's all tied into our educational system, too.
Yeah, it's the educational system and the medical system that we have in the United States. We pay twice as much as the next highest country, and yet we have some of the lowest outcomes from anything. I went to my brother-in-law had developed diabetes. He had his brother died, and the emotion just took him over the edge. Yeah. And I got him onto a no carbohydrate or a very, very low carbohydrate, high fat and high protein, and he actually cured his own diabetes. Yeah. But I told him that he had to work with his doctor, and every time he went to his doctor, he says, your blood sugar is too low. Yeah. And he says, you got to eat more carbs. Yeah. He says, how about reducing the level of, anyway.
Yeah, well, thanks a lot, John. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Okay, and we're going to have Mike from Miami right after the break, so stick around, folks.
At At Tiger Metal Exchange, we pay you more for converting your jewelry to cash.
Let's go to Brian in New Jersey. Hey, Brian, what's going on?
Hey, Tom, just want to let you know I did give you some jewelry. My jeweler offered me about $650, but you get a check in the mail tomorrow for about $1,200.
At Tiger Metal Exchange, it's all about honesty when converting your jewelry to cash.
Okay, let's go to Paul in Florida first. Hey, Paul, what's going on?
I want to commend you on the Tiger Metal Exchange. I just did a deal with you guys the other day.
Oh, good.
And very happy.
Well, I appreciate it. Now, did you sell us jewelry or did you buy coins off us?
I sold you jewelry.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
What we weighted at was less than you guys said, so, you're totally honest.
At Tiger Metal Exchange, we give you the tools to value your gold, and it's absolutely free. Call 866-618-8888 or log on to TigerMetalExchange.com. We've created the easiest, safest, and most honest cash for gold process. Tiger Metal Exchange. It's the only call you need to make.
TFNN is proud to bring you the cutting edge of investment newsletters. Ken Shreve's Ultimate Growth Stocks. Ken is a top-down investor who lets price and volume in the major stock indices tell him when to be in the market and when to be out. By using his unique blend of fundamental and technical analysis, Ken will protect your hard-earned capital while realizing breakout gains. Go to TFNN.com today, click Investment Newsletters, and get Ken Shreve's Ultimate Growth Stocks free for 2 weeks.
David White's newsletter, The Technology Insider, is focused like a laser on finding the next big things in technology. If you had invested only $10,000 in Microsoft in 1986, you'd have been a millionaire by 2000. Disruptive technology like Microsoft's is the key to these massive long-term profits, and the Tech Insider is the vehicle from TFNN to capitalize on these opportunities. This is the go-to newsletter that identifies, monitors, and profits on mostly little-known cutting-edge companies with great long-term prospects. David's experience is as an inventor of Emmy-winning animation products for TV and Hollywood that propelled a company public. Match that with 14 years as a full-time trader, and he's uniquely qualified to guide you through the light-speed world of ever-evolving high-tech. If you're ready to ride the next big technology bull market for less than $40 per month, log on to TFNN.com and get your 2-week free trial to the Technology Insider. Get in on the ground floor of the next big thing today.
Here's what people are saying about Tiger TV.
Let's go to John in Tampa. Hey, John, what's going on?
Hi, Tom. How are you, sir?
I'm doing great. You having a good day out there?
A wonderful day. I love your Tiger TV. I watch it every day. I'm like a kid in a candy store.
Oh, man, I appreciate you out there watching it. How long have you been watching the Tiger TV?
I'm watching almost a month now, and it's wonderful.
It's pretty cool, isn't it?
Oh, yes, it's cool. You see the charts and everything. Thanks so much for the hard work.
Tiger TV, a great news service from TFNN.com.
Are you looking for a precision edge in the market? Something that can stack the odds in your favor? Then look into Larry Pesavento's new trading newsletter, Patterns, Profits, and Peace of Mind. In each weekly issue, Larry explains what's going to happen in the markets based on the pattern he sees developing and gives you actionable trade ideas based on those patterns. Plus, you'll get his detailed analysis on a variety of markets and sectors, including stocks, treasury bonds, the gold market, oil, the dollar, the forex market, and more. And you'll get the Technical Corner segment, which is a short but powerful weekly training session on trading. You'll get access to all the patterns Larry is seeing in the markets, plus the Astro Harmonics and powerful Bradley stock market model that Larry utilizes for less than $5 a day. An extremely potent combination that will give you just the edge you've been looking for. Try Patterns, Profits, and Peace of Mind absolutely free for 2 weeks. Go to TFNN.com and click on the free trial link at the top of the page. That's an $85 value, yours free when you register right now. Get Larry's Patterns, Profits, and Peace of Mind and get the edge you've been looking for.
This segment is brought to you by TFNN. Test drive all the newsletters for free at TFNN.com.
Welcome back to Living a Primal Lifestyle. I'm your host, Nico de Hann, and on the line we have Mike from Miami. Hi, Mike. How you doing today?
Hi, Nico. Getting some calls from Miami today.
Yeah, it's real nice.
If you remember me, I called some time ago about the SCD diet and my wife. Yeah, and we're in about our 40th day.
Oh, wonderful.
And it's going well. I wanted to plug a book, if I could.
Sure.
It's by a woman that researches diet. Her name is Elaine Gottschall, and it's called Breaking the Vicious Cycle. And it's a fascinating read for anybody on a paleo primal diet as well. She spent finally got her master's degree at the University of Western Ontario, working in the cell in the cell labs and studying the effects of the small intestines on food, which she decided to go back to school in her 40s because her daughter was very sick with Crohn's disease.
Okay.
And as a result, she cured her daughter using this diet, which was developed in the 1940s by two doctors, Dr. Haas in New York City.
I'm familiar with Dr. Haas, yeah.
Oh, you are?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's fascinating. Huh. And he came up with a definitive, more or less, cure at that time for what was known as celiac disease. Mm-hmm. And they concluded that it wasn't just gluten; it was starches and sugars as well. And the description on how sugars work in the body is fascinating as well.
Yeah, I'm going to pick this up. I try to read everything I can on this, and there's more being written and more tests being done now. It's really a good time to be alive in our modern world with all this information, where you can make your own decisions on this.
Yeah, sugars are a real problem with anybody with digestive issues. She breaks it down into monosaccharides, disaccharides, and polysaccharides. Polysaccharides being starches, disaccharides being grains, and monosaccharides being safe sugars that you would find in fruit, or honey would be the only
raw honey. Yeah, in fact, I was reading an article last month about raw honey being great to help you sleep because it helps get the melatonin in. Because the raw honey, instead of going to the pancreas, goes directly to the liver, where those hormones are secreted out, and they do help you sleep. And so there's the natural sweeteners are very good for you.
Yes, it's the only one allowed.
Yeah.
In this diet, but it's pretty much a paleo diet. But how it's structured is very different at the beginning.
Well, I've been looking forward to reading it then. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, it's a fascinating read, and she was quite a woman. Unfortunately, she died in 2005. Oh, boy. And this little book had sold over 1 million copies by that time.
Wow. So what's the biggest change that you've seen in your 40 days?
Well, for me, I did the 5 days, the detox with my wife. And that was, I tell you, that was a challenge. For someone even that was healthy. Yeah. You experience die-off. You get flu-type symptoms, low energy, and all kinds of nasty stuff. Yeah. But you gradually work your way out of that, and your intestines start to heal. Mm-hmm. And then you gradually introduce foods that are cooked a little longer, and you just move forward. And you become your own practitioner, basically,
It's the way to do it.
My wife is doing better, yes.
Good. Okay, Mike.
Yep.
I appreciate it. We're kind of out of time now, so I appreciate you calling, and look forward to your next call.
Great. Thanks.
Thanks, Mike.
Bye-bye.
Nice to hear success stories, people being on the paleo or primal type diet, and there's a lot of people writing about this in different forms or another. Please pick up my Health Signals newsletter. I'll have news about this in the next upcoming newsletter also, so it's a continuous thing, folks, and of course you get that on the first and third Friday of each month, and I look forward to talking to you again next week. So I really appreciate all the calls. It's kind of nice to chat here with people all around the nation. So thank you very much, and everybody have a great weekend.